Hey, hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brooke. If you're new here, this is a channel where I talk about houseplants and do DIYs on my shorts. Why don't take a minute and subscribe to my channel. I open my drink. So refreshing. If you are a recurring viewer, thank you so much for coming back and watching another video. Today, I actually need to attempt to pot up some of my propagations. So I have a ton of propagations. Like these ones in front of me are a handful. I have a lot in my greenhouse cabinet that just need to be potted up into soil probably by now. And I'm going to take a look at them, pot them up. But then there are a few other ones that I've been propagating, like this propagation jar, which I can't remember if I've shared this here. I believe I've shared it on my Instagram. But I propagated this. All these cuttings are all micans months ago. There are also some wet stick propagations from a Monstera Stanleyana albo that I've actually started to sprout and produce leaves. And so now I have this giant, look at all those roots system, and I need to pop them up. Then I have other random things that have been sitting in here for years. This has probably been here for 2 years, and it's intense. Like, yeah, I need to do something about that. And then this guy, so I potted this up last year, or planted this up last year. It's a terrarium. I got this gumball candy dish, whatever you want to call it, at Target in their $5 section. And I planted a bunch of plants in it. I did one for Christmas and it was a hit. And so I was like, I'll do one. This was like a random after that. I think it was for Valentine's Day, actually. And so I put a brandy in there and a string of turtles that has completely taken over. And I have shared this recently. But the brandy is growing out of it, like out of the space. And so I'm going to pot it up in its own pot. The only place I have been able to keep a brandy philodendron alive is in this. This is it, the terrarium. So I had one and I think that they are beautiful. They just require a lot of humidity and are very temperamental in my experience. So this is where it's lived for probably about 1.5 years, but I'm going to remove it from here and again plant it up by itself and let the string of hearts or string of turtles continue growing, as you can see there. And then I have some random silver sword cuttings that I stuck. These are some pink princesses that I recently chopped and cut, but these guys have been growing in there for quite some time now, probably a good 2 years, and I need to pop them up. They are rooted well. And then this is a propagation pot that I did of my jungle boogie, and it's actually done really well. It's grown a lot, so there are several plugs in this, and I'm going to just take them out and pot some of them up alone. It is a really great little lush pot, but I don't know. Yeah. Wow. Trying to declutter my life of plants right now. It's a lot. When you start collecting a lot of plants and then propagating those plants, it's overwhelming. Like I have so many propagations because I don't have a huge space here in this home. I am limited on where I can put plants. And so I really do have to be aware and keep them in a certain size range. I think that my Monstera Thai right here is the largest plant that I have, next to probably my Mayoi, which is in my living room. And that's a big space for it. But the other plants, I really do try to prune and cut back and keep within their space. That way I can keep them there, because otherwise I would be running out of room and we would be overtaken by plants. So propagation is a great way to just keep your plants small if you are cut on space, if you are limited on space. Then I have a ton of Mandula cuttings. What else do I have? I potted up a Jose Bono and some perlite. That's a propagation. I know that's not necessary, but my Mayois are doing really well in there. I have some Scindapsus and some other silver swords. So I'm just going to pop those up. I bought a bunch of 2-inch and 4-inch pots on Amazon, and I'm going to figure out which ones are going to make the best fit. Because my Micans cuttings, they're really small still. Their roots are great, but I don't think putting them in a 4-inch pot is ideal. These are the 2-inch pots that I got off of Amazon, and they are actually like hardy plastic. They're not the super cheap ones that you can get, but they're hardy. And then I got 4-inch ones. Also, so I've posted that I recently brought my greenhouse cabinet back inside. And I just purchased some Sansi lights, like yesterday maybe. And so they had a sale going. And I purchased a 3-pack of the bendable lights. So I have one of the bendable lights in my kitchen area. And I decided to buy 3 more because I'm going to put them at the top of my greenhouse cabinet in here and on top of my shelf. So it's going to be more space. I will have more space for the plants and it will be great. So I think, I don't know. I have my soil mix here. This is my good soil, which is on my Etsy shop. And if you are in Mesquite area, you can shop it at Suburban Plants. But this is what I'm going to pot them up into and put them in my greenhouse cabinet. So where do I want to start? These actually, I'll do these because they're probably easy and they will be put into a 4-inch pot. So I am going to sell these. Oh yeah, I was like, what? I accidentally broke off my brand new Florida green leaf, which was sad. And I forgot I stuck it in the water. So we'll put that up there. Anyways, I'm going to be selling these plants. So I want to make like a nice full pot of whatever I'm placing in there. So these guys will go into a 4-inch pot. And I think I'm going to grab one from my greenhouse cabinet and place it with it. So 1 second. These guys actually might be a little too large to pot up with this one. So maybe I'll find out what's in here that's small enough to fit in this, but I feel like I want to put 3 at least plugs in here. This one's growing from the bottom, so he'll be growing soon. I can get this out. This has been growing in here for quite some time as well. Oh my gosh. This is why you use wide neck jars. Okay. Whew. Got it. Also need to water this guy. We're going to try to work these roots off. See what we got. I actually just recently chopped this guy again because it was growing so large. I'm going to break the root system. This has been growing in here for probably way too long, honestly. Because when you get a plant that's like grown like this, where the roots are all the way around the jar, then it's like inevitable that you're going to break some. I hate that, but here we go. Okay, these still have a few months to grow and root before I sell them, but I want to make sure they're acclimated to soil prior to doing that. So I think I just cut this one, so I'm going to let that one go. Maybe I'll put it in there because, yeah, I'll put this one in here. This one looks really good. This one's a good size. I'm not worried about getting all the sphagnum moss off of them. So this one's perfect. So I will put these 3 together and that will create a nice little 4-inch pot. Scoop in my mix. Nice. That's a great little pot of silver sword and they're all growing. So this one's here, and this one's down below that I just buried, but it will pop itself out and it will be just fine. So that's a great little pot. Okay. I should have gotten like a tray. So then these silver swords here that are really large leaf ones. Again, I just chopped these back again because they were overtaking the area in the greenhouse, whatever you. So this one already has a new leaf on top. Where's my 4-inch pots? I'm going to put this guy together, these 3 together. Feel like, is that good? I want, these are prolific growers. If you want a very fast philodendron, like growing philodendron, that's a really pretty and unique plant, I would go for a silver sword. They're very easy to care for, can tolerate a lot, and they just constantly grow. This guy was constantly growing. It grew out of its spot completely, so that's why I chopped it all the way back, because it was growing up my wall. And it seriously was growing so fast, I couldn't keep up with it. And I just decided to restart it and see what happens. And it did really well. It's, again, I've propagated it several times since, just cutting it back all the way. So we're going to call that good. That guy's good. This guy is not ready yet. I mean, he is ready yet, but I don't have any other pots to plant him with, or plants to plant him with. Gosh. So I'm just going to leave it there, leave that be, and I'll put him back into the jar he was growing in. And if I propagate something else, I'll stick it in there with it. These have been sitting in my greenhouse since I put it up, but before that, they were sitting under my Barina grow lights in my bedroom. Then I have a ton of like little plants. So these are Micans cuttings. These are Florida greens. I have brandies in here, and I have some enjoys. And honestly, I might have a small silver sword right here. I think that might be a silver sword. But this has been growing, obviously, for probably a good couple of years as well. And I'm just going to take them out and see what I can plant up, because this is just ridiculous, honestly. This is insane. Look at all that. Look at that. So I will plant that up. It has a new growth point right there. So I'll pot it up. I'll probably pot just all of these little. This has a new growth point right here, and it's rooted well. Florida greens, I've noticed that they just, I cut mine continuously back too. It grows pretty well, pretty fast. But yeah, I'll just pop those all together. It's a great little, I don't even know what I should pot those up into. I guess a 4-inch, because a 2-inch, as well as it looks like, it's kind of small for it. Hold on, I gotta chop this extra off here. I'm just chopping the stem off, like it's not a, like the inner node. Nothing's gonna grow from there. What should I put these in? Should I put them in a 2-inch? I feel like I should, but at the same time, like they're not a lot of roots for that, but it kind of is. But it's just like kind of small and nothing for this pot. There's 3 different plants that are in here. Does that look full? I guess so. I'll put it in there because there's no sense of putting it in a 2-inch pot. It's just going to grow out very quickly. There's a little Florida green. There's 3 plants in that one. Ooh, snow. These pink princesses are not rooted. That one's not rooted. Oh yeah, back to this. Sorry. Okay, so these are all Micans. Okay, so this is a brandy. Just worthless. Honestly worthless. Cutting it. Okay, so these are enjoys, which are so cute. Look at those tiny little enjoys. I feel like potting those up in a little 2-inch would be fine. Look at this tiny little, oh, I love these tiny little enjoys. They're so cute. That one's that one. So I'll pot these all up together because that's just adorable. Look at this tiny little guy. I'll probably just end up having to bury him because it's, there's no way it's going to stay up. Enjoy is one of my favorite pothos. It's so pretty. The variegation's beautiful. It's a stable variegation and very easy to care for. So there's that little guy. He's so cute. Back to this. Getting this mess. What is happening? This is a good little Micans. This has, yeah, a really good root system on this guy. It's got aerial roots growing out of it already, like right there. So he's cute. Okay, we'll pot him up. I'm going to put him in a 2-inch because small. This is also a brandy, I want to say, or maybe a Mican. No, this is a Micans. Okay, so this one's a Micans. I'm going off the stem and how they look. This is a Micans. Yeah, that's a Micans, little one long root. At some point, I'm just going to have to cut somewhere because there's 3 plants left. So all of the 3 plants that are left, this is them. It's going to take me forever. I'm going to get nowhere today. So this one is all of that. Well, I assume that some of those are not, but it could be. Like, look at all that. That guy is really rooted. It has 2 like places that it's growing, so technically 2 different plants. So this one's going to require its own pot. I might just stick one of those little single cuttings in here with it, because that's 3 then. That little guy, call it good. And then I'll water these all once I get them potted up. But there's that guy, little Micans. Why did I not cut that? Because that's like a lot of just random root, random stem that's just pointless. So I'll just stick him in there. This guy. We've got this guy. And this one's good. This one's got good roots. That's that. So I'll stick him right here for now because I'm going to get into my other propagation of micans. I just chopped my entire micans plant up because I wasn't enjoying it. Micans aren't my favorite, but it was just not growing the way I liked it. So I just chopped it. But I also have a soil propagation that I'm going to use because I don't need all these micans. Wow, there's like nothing rooted on this. Barely. I don't like you. So I'm going to go over here and look at the ones because I know that these are well rooted. Look at that. Let's see if I can pull some of these micans and plant it with this guy over here. That little guy, look at that little Monstera Stanleyana, the pretty half moon. Some of these aren't rooted as well. Like that one's so cute. Like long, you know? So I'll probably leave those. Like this guy's not rooted at all, but it has foliage coming out. Not rooted, but has a leaf. These are all Stanleyana cuttings that I'm pulling out currently. Not root, well, kind of rooted. The Stanleyana cuttings I put in after I put my micans in. So my micans should be more established. Dump. Look at all those roots. Just slowly break it apart. I've kind of moved to perlite for propagating my plants because in perlite I can then just plant them up and I don't have to worry about separating them from the sphagnum moss and breaking their roots. Some little micans I'm going to stick in there with them. This is a lot of used. This one big long micans cutting. Okay, this is what I was going for. Okay, cool. So this guy, you're going to go in there too. I was going for these small ones. I'm going to put 4 plants in this one. Surprise. We're making progress. Okay, that's a good guy. This is a really good one. Stanleyana is really good. Probably plant these 2 together. Those are both well rooted. I'm just going to pot these 3 up, right, or these 4. I have 4 in here. Oh, that little micans. Then I have this micans. Oh wait, I forgot I have a whole pile down here too. Jeez. Okay, pause. I'm gonna make a not ready pile over here. So maybe not any of these will be ready. I just stick that in a pot because it's well rooted. It was a stick cutting and it's tiny. This guy is ready. He's got a lot of roots on him. This guy's good. These guys I'm gonna put up in a 4-inch pot. So this one, this one, this one. Ones I'm going to do in a different pot. That's a really great little pot of micans there. This Stanleyana, I'm going to put pot up in this 2-inch pot. This one's really well rooted. It has aerial roots that are just growing. Okay, so that's a little cute Stanleyana. Little Stanleyana, they grow fast. This is only a 2 cutting, but they grow really quickly, I will tell you that. You just stick them in this 2-inch pot because these are the ones that are rooted, but like also kind of small, like freebies. So there'll be 4 plants in this one. This little guy. So from that, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2-inch micans, 1 4-inch micans. Cool. And I have this pile of plants we'll figure out later. I almost drank the propagation water. Okay, let's do this one because it's easy and let's get it off the table. So I'm just going to take the soil mix out because it's already been in my soil mix. So I'm just going to dump it together. Well, here's this guy. So this is a little one. And I already propagated these and then put them back in a pot. So they're well rooted. Like that guy's really well rooted. So I'll put him in a 4-inch pot. That's a really great little plant. And then I'll put him in a 4-inch pot along with this little guy too. So those are really good. And these are the jungle boogies or narrows, whatever you want to call them. I really did love this plant. This the yellowing on it is actually due to extra floral nectaries. And so it's very common for philodendron to get those. They're calling to the ants and beneficial bugs, but my philodendron, a lot of them get this. Wow, it looks so emo. A lot of them get this on their leaves. I'm looking at like my Pariso Verde gets them. What other plant got them? My Gloriosum gets them. But yeah, this is the one that looks the worst probably. These guys, this is a great little plant. This, I don't know. These are all Cebu Blues. Look at that. Look at those. So there is a cutting from the Silver Sword cutting that I'm not going to pot up because there might be a Micans, and there's Micans. Why is there so many Micans? This little guy's great. I'm just going to leave it there. I should have put it in with one of my other Silver Swords, but didn't really think about that. These are Cebu Blues, which I have a really big Cebu Blue. Not really big, but I have a big Cebu Blue in my kitchen. And it sits under the little Sansi grow lights. This guy, this Micans, is stuck in here randomly. Pretty good little root system it's got going there, but I'm just going to set it there. And then this guy, I'm just going to stick him up in a 2-inch pot. I don't know. His root system might be too much for that. We're just going to do it because it looks better. If somebody gets it, I'll just tell them to repot it because I don't feel like it doesn't look as full and great as a little in the 4-inch pot. So I'm going to do this brandy, which might be a really difficult job because it's very, yeah, this might be difficult. Pulled it all. I just pulled it all up. It's so stuck in there because of the string of turtles and because it has aerial roots growing in from multiple places. So honestly, this guy will grow and it will be fine because it's so well rooted. I'm trying not to disturb my string of turtles. That's what I got from it. Like it's good little root system. So there's actually 2 plants. Oh my goodness. Okay. Isn't as well rooted as the other one. I didn't even know this existed in there. But there was just one. But you're rooted there. I just stick this in a 2-inch pot and call it done. I'll put it in my greenhouse cabinet so it will grow more. But good little 2-inch brandy pot. So I have this really well rooted cutting or propagation. Look at this of pothos albos. So I want to save this. I'm sorry. One track mind. Saving that. This is all, yeah, pothos enjoys and albo cuttings, epiprimnums, and I have no idea. Oh, this is a reverted Monstera albo cutting. But they are growing out the bottom like you can see here. So I'm going to, they're actually growing through both sides. Cool. Cool. Let's see what's been growing in here. These enjoys are rooted very well, so I'll go ahead and pop those up. These albos are too, like they're thick roots. And they have roots growing, aerial roots growing from here too. This, wait, okay, whew, I just got freaked out. I saw an all white node and I thought it was the reverted Monstera albo. Freaked out for a moment. It is not, it's from this. The reverted albo is rooted fairly well. Yeah, it's got some thick roots. And I'm going to be 150% honest with you. This has an all white node coming out of it. I wonder if it's going to stay that way or if that means it's just fresh. But maybe I'm not even going to be able to. That right there. We're going to see how that does. That's a new growth point that is all white. Pretty sweet. Look at that. Oh yeah, you can see it there. So my excitement wasn't, premature. Cool. Well, we'll see what happens with that. I will put that back in perlite for sure. Moving on. These ones are really well rooted. I'll stick these together. The epiprimnum albo is what was rooted the best. Just like disaster. So I'm going to stick these up in a 4-inch pot together. Same for these guys. I'm not even going to try to do it. I'm just going to stick these up in 4-inch pots together, these 2 plants. And I think that'll be great. They're so fast to grow and are really great. Like if you're looking for a rare plant, I would definitely go for the albo epiprimnum because, pothos are just notoriously easy and they really truly are. And this guy is just a prolific grower of mine. I love it so much and it's growing on a moss pole. So do give them something to climb and they will do really, really well. I got this reverted elbow, by the way, for free from Fitzgerald Tropics. No, I can't put it in that one. That one falls. And, you know, like it was free. It's like a whatever plant. And so I just got it because it was free with purchase, I guess I should say. So I purchased my Burley Marks variegated and my, what one? Syngonium albo. And so it was sitting there and I just picked it up because it was the last, like, I'm just literally just chucking these in there. I don't even care right now. They'll figure it out. And if they don't, I don't really know. I don't know what to say. But anyways, I just picked it up because it was there. They had like some strawberry, I think, reverted cuttings and something else. I can't even remember, but I just picked it up, whatever. It wasn't a plant that I needed or like, you know, cutting that I needed, but picked it up. And on my way home, I noticed that there was still a white line running through it, but you kind of had to like turn it upside down a little bit. So it was kind of like an accidental find, I'm pretty sure. But turned it upside down, saw it, and I messaged them and asked about it. And they were like, shoot, yeah, didn't see that there. So technically that it was like reverted. It's not like the greatest cutting, obviously. So I have the other half of it. And I have actually two halves of it. So this is one. Then I have another one that it isn't doing anything. It's just pushing out all green leaves. And then I have another one that's somewhat pushing out a little bit of white. I would say it's a very light, like faint white, but it is a lighter color. And so I'm just wondering like if it will ever turn and go white. But that's cool to see that node is like for sure, or that new growth point is for sure all white, versus my other one was just a very light color white. Oh, wait, shoot. You got to put the plant in there first. Stop talking. So, pop these guys up. And this guy, this Enjoy, will go in a 2-inch pot. So this is going back in the cabinet. This guy has been growing for several months now in this sphagnum moss under grow light. I don't know how. I know it's rooted. I've seen the roots. I've taken it out before. I did not enjoy my White Knight, just being honest. My White Knight and Pink Princess, two plants that I just don't care about anymore. I loved the White Knight because of the white like patches, but again, if you are looking for a plant that is white and really pretty and more uncommon, I would definitely stick with the Pothos albo. It seems to have a better variegation overall and like a consistent variegation, versus the White Knight and the Pink Princess have no stability in their lives. So just didn't enjoy it. It gave me mostly green leaves and just, yeah, didn't really care for it. But this is what we're working with here. I'll probably just plant this in soil because it's got a lot of aerial roots at the top too. And I'll just stick it up. But I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying, why I'm saying it. I don't know if I'm just going to do this one plant per. That's what I feel like doing for this guy. So I'm going to do like 2-inch plants. Because, I don't know, these are still more, I guess, uncommon. So just stick them up in 2-inch. That way I can have more people want them. This is this one. That one's that one. That one looks great. This one looks great too. They all look well, but they all have aerial roots. So there you go. White Knight. This is no white on it at all whatsoever. Oh, I forgot. I wanted to do that one. Okay, I'm going to do it because it's right here. These Tetrasperma have been growing in this for a couple years now since I moved in, almost 3 years. And I don't ever change the water, I will be honest. And I just am sick of seeing them there. So I'm just potting them up if I can get this one out because it's really bent in there. Again, need a wide neck base or bottle. Oh my gosh, I don't want to break it. Oh, okay. Whew. Okay. When propagating, use wide neck bottles. All of this all of this. Very good root system. Very good, very good. This honestly needs, yeah, 4-inch pot's fine. Great. Sticking you up in it. I actually really wanted a Tetrasperma. And then, this is a Rhaphidophora Tetrasperma. And then I got it, and then I was like, don't really like it. That's how every plant that I've really wanted has gone, is like, don't really like it. So yeah, I kind of stay away from desiring plants, I guess, putting them on a wish list, because then I'm just disappointed. So that's a great little 4-inch plant. It'll go in the greenhouse. This disaster zone, I have to pick it up now. So that was that. That was my propagation, my long propagation video. And I will show you somewhere, some point, where the rest of the propagations are going, because now I have to figure that out. But thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.